Hey, what's up, Cerebralites? It's me, the Cerebral Diva, and I am here with a love and hip hop review. Now, you probably want to cherish this review because it's more than likely going to be the first and last love and hip hop review that I do. Um, I just tried to sit through season 6, episode 4 of Love and Hip Hop, and I feel like I'm less intelligent for it. I try not to be a television snob. One of those people who's always judging other people saying, oh, why do you watch this show? Why do you watch that show? This show is stupid. This show is dumb. Because we like what we like. And who am I to judge another person for what they like? Because some people might judge me for the things that I like. But while I may not judge you for watching Love and Hip Hop, I'm kind of judging you. This show, oh my gosh. When I tell you it does a disservice to the African American community, to female empowerment and the women's movement, to the LGBT community. I mean, it's just so offensive and assaultive on so many levels that when I watch it, I'm wondering what anyone takes away from it. Maybe someone thinks it's funny, maybe someone thinks it's entertaining, but Love and Hip Hop is just Love and Hip Hop Atlanta in particular, because that's what's on. So I'm speaking about that particular franchise. Is ratchet epitomized. It's just everything that I would not want to be associated with. It's misogynistic. It's sexist. I wouldn't call it necessarily homophobic, but what it does is, to me, it trivializes homosexuality. It trivializes the LGBT experience in a way. You see these women vacillate between being straight, gay, bi, and pretty much everything in between. I mean, they're just sexually fluid, as if your sexuality is something that you choose. And I know that has been a bone of contention for the LGBT community, because a lot of people think that sexuality is something that can be chosen. And when you see these people on shows, choosing to be with a girl one day, choosing to be with a guy the next, choosing to be with both on Wednesday, it's really hard to watch, because that sort of gives credence to that belief that your sexuality is something that you choose. So just that alone just bothers me. And when you see just how dumb the women on this show are, like, is the word pride even in their vocabulary? A lot of people are feeling sorry for Rashida this season based on what Kurt's been doing to her, but Kurt hasn't done anything this season that he hasn't done in previous seasons. So while I'm not necessarily relishing in what's happening to Rashida, but she couldn't possibly be surprised. I mean, we've seen this behavior from Kurt season after season after season after season. And if she thought for some reason that it was going to change, we all know a leopard doesn't change his spot. So I don't understand why it's such a surprise or shock that he could have a child out of wedlock. What's more surprising to me is that she's acting like she's surprised. She's acting like she's shocked. And that's the thing about the show that bothers me. Like, it's not even a real reality show. It's just a really poorly written, scripted show at this point. This is not a reality television show. It's bad acting. All of the situations are fabricated. It's just, it's hard to watch for me. And then the coup de grace for me, because when I was trying to watch this episode, season 6, episode 4, and I kept fast forwarding because everything was just so dumb. And then, so this new character, and yes, I'm calling her a character because that's the way she presents herself, as a character. I don't know anyone who behaves this way, but all right. Lovely Mimi. She may be lovely, but that voice is assaulting. I just could not sit through watching her on my screen for more than 30 seconds. And one of the things that I didn't like about this lovely Mimi is that Love and Hip Hop has developed this sort of tried and true formula. So Cardi B was a breakout star in New York, and she's since left the New York franchise, and I think she's on being Mary Jane, and she has a bunch of really big. I think she just signed a record deal. She has some really major things happening in her life, and so she's moving on. So like last season, they brought on Tommy, and Tommy is supposed to sort of be the new Jocelyn, just sort of the mean girl, right? And now they're bringing on Lovely Mimi, who to me is really sort of a bootleg version of Cardi B. Not as funny, not as likable, not as enduring, not as authentic. I mean, everything that Cardi B is, everything that makes you love Cardi B makes you despise Lovely Mimi, because it seems like Lovely Mimi is trying to be funny. She's trying to be annoying. It's like, I'm gonna be as loud and as obnoxious as I possibly can, and people are gonna think that that's funny. Now, unless you're 3 or 4, that shtick is gonna get old pretty quick. And for me, it got old in about 30 seconds. It's just, I don't know. She's like shucking and jiving. It's just bad. It's hard to watch. So this episode of Love and Hip Hop was a complete turn off for me. Love and Hip Hop actually, when it first started back in the days of Stevie J and K Michelle and Arian, and even when what's the guy that Mimi made the sex tape with, Nico, I can't Freako. That's what Stevie J calls him. So even up until that point, Love and Hip Hop was still engaging for me. But this season is just over the top. It's contrived. It's calculated. It's just not interesting for me at all to watch. So I'm gonna have to sit this one out. If you're a Love and Hip Hop fan, like I said before, please don't let my preferences influence yours. I just can't. I can't do it. So, yeah. This lovely, you don't understand how much I was annoyed by Lovely Mimi, and maybe she's a great person. I don't know her personally, but the way she's being portrayed on this show is just like the person that you want to ask to leave your party. You know how that person just shows up and they're just sort of like, some people can walk into a room and they get all of the attention just because their presence is so strong, and some people can get all of the attention because they're sucking the air out of the room just by being annoying and obnoxious. And to me, that's what Lovely Mimi is doing on Love and Hip Hop. So if you haven't seen season 6 episode 4, check it out and see what give me your thoughts and your comments on it. Like I said, this is no commentary on Lovely Mimi as a person. This is really just about the character that she's portraying, because I personally I couldn't see her being married and working if this is the way she behaved 24 hours a day. I don't know what man, what employer, even as a prospective client, like I wouldn't want my nails, I wouldn't want to have to sit there and listen to that shrill while I'm getting my nails done. So I'm pretty sure, at least I'm hopeful, that she doesn't carry this way in normal everyday life. But no more Love and Hip Hop for me. I'll probably sit the rest of this season out. I may check out the reunion if it's not too over the top. But leave your comments. I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, in closing, remember to live better, love harder, and think smarter. It's